film. Are we live? I think so. Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the Bites Between. Tonight we have another special evening. Ooh, it smells good and it smells piping hot. This is Wal-Mart's thin crust supreme frozen pizza. They have it under the name, under the brand, under the marquee of great value. So it's a great value pizza from Walmart. Now, here's where things get a little interesting. If you look back through our video library, you will see we've already tasted the rising crust version of this. That rising crust, to this day, about mid-June 2022, is $3.17 per pie. This thin crust model will set you back a cool $3.48. I don't understand why, but the thinner one is more expensive. And because it's so much thinner, I'm betting it's going to cool a lot faster. So let's get started. Great values, make it at home frozen pizza, thin crust, supreme. Emphasis on the thin crust. This is different than the rising crust. This is a thin crust. Let's get a good look at that. I haven't even seen it yet. Oh, she's cute. Look. She's got grease. She's dripping. Oh, she's authentic. Wah, wah, wahoo! Check out that crust, all right? I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited because I really liked the last one. I love you, baby Jesus. Now give me this as my thumbnail. Something inviting, something warm and friendly. Come on in, sit a spell. Let's have some thin crust supreme pizza from Walmart. Ooh, I'll even give you the first bite. Let's try her before she's cold. She's steaming, you see it? She's a piping hot. They want you to wait a few minutes for her to cool. I ain't waiting. Like 5 minutes, I'm not waiting. I've waited enough at enough places today. Okay. You see what we're dealing with? A very crisp, very hard crust. Not so hard you can't eat it, but it's not crispy like Pizza Hut's crust is like deep fried tasting crispy. It's crispy like a saltine cracker. Now, these are reminiscent of, I believe, I'm not sure the label they ran them under, but they had these pizzas that would be about 99 cents in the freezer department. And you'd pop them in your microwave. It's reminiscent of that because of the thin crust. It doesn't have a weird, cheap taste. The taste is fairly mild. Not too salty at all. Not underflavored. We lost our grip. We lost our grip. Mm. Mm. There ain't a vacuum behind me again, is there? Okay. Some places have a very thin crust as well, but they're very floppy, very rubbery. This is not. It is a crispier crust, but I'm willing to bet it's more rubbery with time. Well, now that we've tasted it the way the scientists and the chefs at Walmart and Great Value have designed it, we may add a little things to make it our own. Now you know what we do here. We take a little of the cold pressed. So much of that gets wasted when you put it like that. Now, some queso. Reggiano, Parmigiano Reggiano. Some pepper flakes. Imported pepper flakes. Only the best. Only the best here. Oh, pigment. Oh! Nice little showcase. She is cooling down. You guys like it like that with all the stuff on there? Well, everything is better with oil and cheese and chile. It was a little spicy. A little spicy meatball. You guys like this stuff? My family sent me some of this from home. They said, in case you're feeling homesick, it expires in a couple weeks, so eat it. This is my favorite. This is the carbonara. Oh. I believe it has cheese in it. Carbs. Ah. Ready? And go. Ah. She's hot. Ooh, but she's so good at first. Reminds me of when I first tasted it. Mm. 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 Oh. A little hard. That it is so tasty, but it's spicy. Something that really got me upset earlier. I don't know if you can see here. Right here. A little piece of olive right there. You see it? And there's I think a little piece right there. That's it. That is all the olive that they put on here. 1/8 of an olive. I don't like that. You could take one olive and cut it into 20 thin slices and dump it on there. You don't need 1/8 of an olive. I don't understand why they had to be so... I'm not going to say stingy because they're trying to keep the price down, and I understand that. I understand that. That one kind of slapped. That carbonara. This is slappier. This will slap the shit out of you right there. That's my good friend right there. That's my good trade right there. Ooh. Look at that. Mm-hmm. She knows how to bring it. Oh my gosh. That's a lot. We're gonna suffer. But this is cheating. Remember I told you guys, the cheese takes away the heat no matter what. Unless you add more heat. But this isn't really hot. These pepper flakes that you find in a pizzeria aren't really hot. Two-time nuclear noodle, Wal-Mart thin frozen pizza, supreme pizza from Great Value going in. Now let's wait. Let's wait. She's knocking. Quiet. She's knocking. The heat. Don't let the heat in. Ah! Don't want to lose that cheese. See? She's tamed. That cheese. I'd be crying already. But that cheese stops it. It cancels it out, you understand? If you're like familiar with code, to write code, you cancel out things. You cancel out the other code. This cancels out, and the cheese cancels out the heat. Many times, like by a lot. But then it's coming. She found another way in. She took a back door. Let's try it with this. We're gonna go with a Heinz. Not sure where that came from, but someone's been sneaking that into my bags. The Heinz 57 Ranches. Oh. think Heinz has something to do with Al Gore. He's that guy who invented global warming. Oh. Oh. Got the polar bears all shook. Ah. Ooh. I have a last piece of meat. I think I like it better without the ranch. I will. It's just not necessary. I'm sorry. You have your place in the world. It's just, I don't know. This pizza's not hot now. It's hard. Well, I don't know how long it's been, but I'm already eating cold pizza. Has nothing to do with Walmart. It's my tactics. I apologize. I get so hot and bothered cooking up a storm. So I put the cooler on for a little bit, just to calm me a bit. And just never shuts off and just blows and blows and blows cold air. Oh. Oh. Man, a couple years ago, the dentist told me this feeling you have has gone bad, and this tooth needs to be repaired or taken out. She's like, I think I can fix it, but you have to be very careful with it. She's like, buy you some time. So she really hollowed it out, got rid of all the bad parts inside, and then filled her up. Did a filling on it. I told me to be careful. Don't eat hard things. Just be mindful that if this tooth could break easier than another tooth could, because it's been hollowed out. So I was careful. And then I got Quakers, like granola cereal. It had like raisins in it. It was like granola and raisins. Granola is not that hard. And raisins are raisins, duh. Well, these raisins were like little pebbles, like little rocks. They were so hard. So I was like, I'm gonna let this sit in the milk. Let the milk soften the raisins, soften the granola, whatever. I'm not going to be eating these rocks. So some time goes by, I'm not sure how much time, enough time for the cereal to become soggy, like oatmeal. I take a bite. not even thinking about these rocks in there, assuming everything's soft now. And as I'm chewing, I'm like biting diamonds. It's my tooth. I'm chewing my tooth. My tooth had broke like in half. Like the root's in there still. The tooth broke, and I'm like, she's not going to be able to fix this. I'm not going to go get corona. This disease is changing the whole world. People can't have their family at their funeral. I'm getting this disease over a tooth. So I opted to not go, and months became years. It's been now 2 years, and I'm still putting it off because I don't like the waiting rooms. They scare me. Oh. So it hurts sometimes. I'm biting something hard, and I, boom, jam the, it's not even like a gap. It's like there's still a piece of a tooth in there. So it can be very painful to bite on it. No one's told me you have like long roots. Like your teeth are really in there. And it's hard to take them out. And if we have to take one out, we could break the other teeth. It's just who needs all that? Well, guys, what do I think? No. The ranch doesn't help too much. It's a fine pizza on its own. Add a little peppers and cheese. Some olive oil. Some hot sauce. Whatever you like. Now, how was the Great Value Supreme Thin Crust Pizza? It was okay. Maybe if I cooked it like a minute less, it says 12 to 15 minutes. I cooked it for 12 minutes, maybe 12 and a half minutes. I kind of stood there for a little bit. Maybe I should have done that. I might have taken it right out 11:30 minutes. So it was a little, I'm not gonna say crisp, I'm gonna say hard. It was a little hard, not even crunchy, maybe just a little hard in parts. Definitely a lot easier to eat the whole pizza because of the thinness. But the rising crust, I believe, was better. I, in fact, purchased another one to eat off camera. So I obviously like them. If they're good enough for me's, they're good enough for these. Yeah, I actually did. I picked up another of the Supreme Rising Crust Great Value Frozen Pizza. And I got the meat one too, so we'll try that next time. But I got the Supreme Rising Crust just for me. Just eat one of these days for dinner when I'm hungry. Probably put a bunch of weird shit on it. This is good. It's less carbs, certainly. You want to have pizza with less carbs, certainly. Certainly lighter. I feel like I could run right now. I feel very light. It's not as torturous to eat the whole thing like the Rising Crust. But the Rising Crust is tastier, and the texture is better. So I'll give this one thumb. Just because The crust, I mean, the crust has to be hard because it's thin. If it wasn't, it would probably fall apart. For the price, at 31 cents more than the Rising Crust, like if they were the exact same price, but this is more expensive. So if you're counting your pennies, you may just want to go with the Rising Crust. And if you are a keto, if you are an Adkin, you can cut that crust like Popeye cuts their breasts and get that same effect. And it would even be cheaper, in fact, to buy the Rising Crust and to take each slice, and you could even cut the slices, and then with the piece you cut off and remove, you could put sauce and cheese and have another slice. We'll try that sometime. Hey, I think I've taken up enough of your time. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you again. It's been fun. Take care. Goodbye. Now I have to get